And Rubens, you just had a steady race that produced a real quality finish. So congratulations on that, your first trip to Indianapolis.
Thank you so very much. First of all, I want to say that yes, I did race a lot, but nothing like this. It's impressive. This is the first 180 laps is all okay. A lot of respect on the last 20 laps, man. That's race. That's when the race starts. And unfortunately for that last 20 laps, I had a little bit too much downforce in the car. Because then you could see people were not on the same level. Maybe they dropped the downforce or something. Because I was racy, I was okay. I could overtake people, and I had fun all afternoon. But right at the end, even though all the way flat and trying to stay on the draft, they were too much for me. So I'm glad I was able to still finish, because running inside, outside, and like TK, Serbia, these guys, they know how to race on the outside. I'll be back. My next May month, I will try just on the outside. I will try outside.
You jokingly, we asked you a question, did you have any doubts during the month of May? How do you let Tony Kanaan talk you into this? Now, after having completed a race, are you glad that you came here and did it?
Well, it's a lot of a mixed emotion. It's this thing, I think I've drove quite well for the whole month. I was safe. The team plays safe with me. There are points in the race that you wish that you could pit, because the car is just too loose or too pushy. It's a very long race. I guess the boys already talked a lot about that. And for my first experience, at the beginning I had to play safe. Right at the end I was eager to go. And if you think on the penultimate start, he was if he was able to carry, TK was able to carry a little bit longer into one, because he was able to run on the outside, and I think that's when you got the lead there. I was right behind him, but unfortunately I had to lift from the push that I had.
Let me know next time.
Yeah, I was asking, when I saw you P1, I said, ask him when he's going to start. Ask him when he's going to start with his throttle, because I want to know. But it was much more positive than anything else, and I want to thank again the whole team. I want to thank TK for the help. It was a good month for my birthday. It was a good everything. So I'm really pleased.
Very good. We'll open it up to questions.
Two questions. First for Scott. I think during practice or qualifying, I remember you said something that you were not happy with the speed. Did you find for the race improvement in the engine? And question number two, whoever want to answer from the three drivers. What we have seen today in the race in Indianapolis, do you think that is characteristic for the cross-coming over racing? Or is it just special because it is Indianapolis?
I think, we were in a bit of a tough situation come qualifying. I think, the 140 kPa boost wasn't a 2-hour advantage. And we saw the margin sort of slip away. I know on our team side we had engines that were mileaged out pretty much to maximum come qualifying day, which, I think the engine probably didn't have best power at that point. So, the new engine was definitely better. Fuel mileage was vastly improved, and the speed even from car day seemed to be improved on the car. So, I think we were able to run a little more trim than maybe some of the other teams. So I think that added to it as well. But our cars mechanically were fantastic throughout the race. It was even in traffic, it was pretty decent. 3-4 cars back. I didn't have to fight it too much all day. So. I think we Honda, I think did a fantastic job to improve the power and the fuel economy.
For Tony and for Scott, what did you see when Takuma tried to make that move? What did you see? What did you hear? And was that incredibly brave, or was that irresponsible?
I heard.
Looking at the outcome, I think it was totally irresponsible. But
I heard a big bang.
we were talking on the elevator. I mean, it's easy for us to make a comment, but what I saw there, like Scott says, and we saw during the entire race, a guy that wants to get antsy on the last lap. He was going to get Dario, but it just waited a little too long, and you do not play Dario like that. You should know better than that. So I think it was a young driver mistake, and that's going to haunt him a little bit. But you know, the last lap of the race, it is what it is. He tried. It could have worked for him. It could have worked for Scott or for myself. You know, but it's easy to make a comment now. I would have done different. But when I saw the move, I thought to myself, this doesn't look good, and then I thought a second later, maybe it's looking really good for me.
Scott, can you answer that, please?
No, very similar. You know, I think what sort of got our momentum a little crossed up was, you know, 2 to go. I think when he dove under me, you know, Dario definitely had a good run, and then Sato came kind of late, but you know, I think it put us in a pretty decent situation. I think we had good speed to come back and maybe pick them off on the last lap. But you know, it was brave, but you know, Dario gave him room. I think he was so close to pulling that off. Like it was, you know, I think if he didn't pinch it as much and maybe moved up on Dario a little bit more, it would have been okay. But you know, Dario did a great job to save it. But yeah, Sato, I don't know why he didn't wait a little longer. I really don't. One more lap, it would have been fine.
For Rubens, talk about that first lap for you and what it was like going through your head, and also what was it like taking the lead?
I tell you, I had a problem with the fuel pressure. As soon as I went out, there was alarms for my fuel pressure, and that, in a way, kept me out of the hype. You know that, you know, like what TK and the friends said about the turbulence and everything. I was a little bit worried with that, and in actual fact, when the race started, when I pushed the throttle, I had a big cutoff. It was boom. And when I changed gear again, it was all going, people just going bang, bang, bang. And I was dealing with that the whole race. But the first start, I had really to be careful with, you know, I saw people trying here and there, and I also tried on the outside and made a mistake. But the restart and so many other occasions, it depends who was leading. They started in a different way, and I was in between like P5 and P15 all the time, and I started to accelerate in different areas, and that was the question, because by the time sometimes we got to the line, there was 4 abreast, and that's for me was more impressive than the actual start of the race.
Scott and Tony, obviously Dario is probably going to be buying the next round of beer. But I want to
Buying the body.
there you go.
I'm in that too.
You're invited. I'm just wondering, what does this win mean for you guys and your relationship with Dario? Does this kind of put him on a pedestal in terms of one of the legends of this place, or is he just still the same old Dario to you guys?
No, you know, I think he's the same old Dario, but you know, 3 victories. He's now up there with Elio, and you know, I think if they win one more, well, there's 4-time winners maybe. So, you know, he's already in an illustrious group, and you know, he you know, the thing with Dario is he's always there. You know, even when he's had a shoot earlier in the day, you know, a lot of guys probably wouldn't come back from that or mentally be strong enough to get back from that. So, you know, I think he's the same old Dario. He might have a few more accolades than some of us, but you know, he's getting on too, I think. Well, actually, TK, you might be too, actually.
The what?
How old are you?
No, he's older.
No, he's older.
I'm
So,
37.
you know, Dario,
He's much older than
he'll be
all of us.
celebrating 40th.
Shut up, old man.
I'm a rookie. You know, I'm sitting here because I'm a rookie.
The oldest
I have rookies where I got a rookie.
The oldest rookie we've ever seen.
So no, I think nothing will change there.
I agree. I think this is the beauty of Dario. He will never change. You know, he's always been picky. He's always has his own ways to do things. But you know, as a personal friend of mine, it didn't matter. It's the same Dario that had won 0 championships and 0 500s until today. So it's a guy that appreciates life and friends and family. So thank God nothing got on top of his head about all the winnings and things that he has, which is that's why we're good friends.
David?
Scott, you and Dario had just a ton of those back and forth passes, lead a lap, the other guy passes. How much of that was intentional? How much of it was a product of the car?
Well, I think in the, once we went back to green with 34 or 2 or something to go, nobody really wanted to lead. Because it was right on the margin there for fuel mileage, you get much better fuel mileage at least one spot back. We kind of just went back and forth to try and help each other out instead of having to drop back too far and mix it up and with people that we maybe didn't want to. So yeah, we definitely talked before the restarts to try and see if we could do that. And with this car, I think it really pulls up. I think and towards the end with the grip level, it was easy to stay close. It was easy to pull past. So that was mostly just to save fuel.
A question for Tony. Being a good friend of Dan Weldon, race car drivers get so focused when they put the helmet on and get into the car. Did thoughts of Dan ever come through your head during the race? Did you ever think about him, or were you totally focused on the 500 miles you drove?
No, I mean, obviously, you can look at the board every time you drive. So lap 26 and lap 77, I definitely thought about it, but I could not lose my focus for that. And I think, not just me, but I know, Scott and his family have done a lot for Dan's family in the past few months. And they were good friends too, and so was Dario. So I don't think it could have been a better result for Dan. Whatever he is right now, he's definitely making fun of Sato, I can tell you that. And he's giving Dario a tap in the back for sure. And he was going to call me a wanker. I'm glad that this is over. I'm glad that now I hope we can all move on and just remember Dan the way Dan was, a happy guy and a wonderful friend.
Tony, this is for you, and Scott for that matter, but Tony, I know that you and Dario, and I don't want to speak for Dario, but I know you guys were very close with Dan. So my question to you is, you were leading there toward the end, so it was going to either be you or Dario. We pretty much knew that. Were you thinking that if you won this race, it would be for Dan?
At that time, I didn't want to think about it, but I mean, honestly, I would include Scott on that too. When I saw the three of us there, I said, well, Mr. Weldon will be happy today because I'm pretty sure the three of us were not going to go off or out, so one of us was going to win it. So I said it all along that obviously I wanted to win this race for myself, as bad as I've been trying. But this year will be obviously special, to put my face right beside his on the trophy, and with Susie and Holly here and all the things that we've done for him. But I try not to think about it. I said, you know what, I don't anticipate things. I don't plan how I'm going to celebrate, or because it's not done until the checker flag is out. So I don't know. I'll save it for another time.
Rubens, you've driven this car and you've also driven Formula One cars. What is the difference in the approach that you had? And you've driven them here. What's the difference in the approach driving the Formula One car compared to the new car? And which one do you like better? And which one, from a professional standpoint, do you have more fun in?
Well, in my life, whatever I do, whatever is right or wrong, I have fun. I have fun in what if I am sitting on this car, it's because I'm having fun. I've already proved to many people that I could have quitted. I have a wonderful wife and kids, could stay home in Brazil, but I still love this too much, and it's just I honestly do this because I was made to do this. On the cars, they're so different, and that's why I think I'm still not there competitive wise. I think that I'm okay.